Hi, my name is Alex Terego, and I'll begin this explanation of the Terego method with this question. What is the only attribute that all companies have in common? The answer, of course, is customers. Customers are the oxygen that nourish and sustain your company. Without customers, your company is just a legal entity. That's why the customer is always right. So it follows that customer care is something all companies must constantly strive to improve. How can constant improvements in customer service best be ensured? Two clues: deep questioning and identifying context. Follow along and I will explain. Okay, so the Terego Enterprise methodology is an adaptive, rules-driven methodology. It's based on Socratic inquiry. It trains your employees in 4 of the core disciplines that you're all going to need to be able to solve problems: critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, communications. And you can do this while working on any problem that needs solving. It's easy to use, it's structured, it's a thought system, and it applies to any enterprise. What it does is it deploys your people so that they become miners of knowledge, and they can use their interdisciplinary skills and the collaborative interrogation of data and other team members and anybody else in enterprise teams so that they will diagnose the right problem, identify the optimal solutions, and most importantly, they will all buy into the solutions that they are proposing. So why does it matter to instructional designers? Well, your employees have never been taught critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, and communications. These are the 21st century skills in this information age, and your company needs these skills. And the schools are not providing it, so you must teach them how to master and deploy these skills. So your enterprise can thrive by being competitive, innovative, and nimble, and of course evolve. So what can you expect after you deploy this method? Well, you can make sure that you don't create band-aid fixtures. You can solve problems optimally through diagnosis, and the decisions made by your enterprise team will be trusted. A culture of multidisciplinary collaboration and clear communications of all actionable items will be engendered. What other outcomes can you anticipate? Well, you can make sure that the right problem is identified and diagnosed, and this leads to continuous innovation. You're doing this by leveraging your enterprise knowledge mining, and you're empowering your employees, and you're creating buy-in. And by doing this, you're getting them to appreciate and use contextual thinking. I will now explain that. A good way to understand the importance of context is to take the word rose. If all you see is that word in isolation, you know very little. Is it a noun, a verb, an adjective? Does it mean a flower or a color? Or is it the past tense of the verb to rise? We do not know until we see the other words surrounding it. It's context. Well, it might mean that prices rose higher than wages. It might mean the rose-scented perfume. It might mean he rose to the top of his profession. It might mean the red rose won the prize. Or it might mean she used rose-colored paint. The meaning of the word rose changes depending on its context, and that is exactly the same with any problem that you are going to be attacking. So you heard me talk earlier about customer satisfaction being so important, and here is an actual enterprise case study that I conducted. My customer had, or my client had, experienced low customer satisfaction, and what they wanted to do was to use my methodology to fix that problem, and here's how they did it. They formed a team, and they deployed my method using the step-by-step process, and this will force the participants to diagnose the correct problem. So the first thing I did was I asked them who's involved when customer service is not doing so well. And they came up with the following: sales, marketing, accounting, information technology, a product specialist, and I added maybe it would be a good idea to have a customer involved. You heard me also talk about context, using the word rose as an example. Or perhaps a more up-to-date metaphor would be make sure people zoom out on the issue before they zoom in on the issue. If you have a map in front of you and you're wanting to drive from city A to city B, the first thing you do is you zoom out to show the relationship between the two. It is exactly the same thing with problems. So follow along as we solve the problem. First thing we do is we put the word problem, low customer satisfaction, in the middle of the board, not at the top. Then we start looking at the context by asking who are the stakeholders, and we figure out that the stakeholders are the shareholders, the employees, the board, the customers, and the suppliers. And what are they all part of? They're all part of the corporation. Now you have zoomed out. Now we start to zoom in, and we try to figure out what are the customer service touch points. Where does bad customer service impact? We look at all these touch points, and that is the process of zooming in. Now we look at the details by zooming in to examine the problem in more detail through deep questioning, but keeping in mind always the context of the problem. Now you know what the constituent parts are. So more of the questions have to come about in the collaborative session. And all of the questions that the members of the team will ask begin with the word who, what, why, where, when. But first let's look at the structure. So a member of the group divides a whiteboard or a display page into 5 sections. These are the what, who, where, why, when sections, and they will lead to the how section. And as you brainstorm and ask the who, what, why, where, when questions, one idea generates another. Asking better questions always begins with who, what, why, where, when questions. This will all lead to the how. So here are some examples. Who is critical to success? Who should lead the effort? What is our overall rating? What areas need our attention most? What resources are lacking? What effect is all this having? Why is this problem critical? Where are we failing? Where are we succeeding? Where is the evidence for this problem? When must it be fixed? As soon as possible. The next step, a very important step, that the most important answers they had come up with were that the after-sale performance was poor, they were inflexible to customer needs, the customers were most important, the product specialists and the marketing people were the ones that really should attack the issue along with the product design people. So my client's team decided that after the vote that all their overall rating after the sale is poor. The area needing attention was the fact that the product is inflexible to customer needs. Our customers are most critical to our success. Our marketing and product specialist teams should lead the effort. Our greatest point of failure is product design. So the summary statement in effect writes itself. Note in yellow that they identified the fact that low customer satisfaction was in fact a symptom. The real problem was the inflexible product design. And without using this method, the company might have chosen to reduce prices to get more business and miss the real problem. So, if you want to create an environment of continuous innovation, and who doesn't, and you want to develop an interdisciplinary collaborative culture, embedding thinking into your company's DNA is the way to do it. It empowers your workforce to be part of the solution, it diagnoses the real problems, and helps your company stay ahead of the curve. So, as I hope I've helped you understand, that the goal of an instructional designer is really to bring critical deep thinking and collaboration and problem solving and communications into the work environment. This helps develop trust, it helps develop decision-making skills, it makes employees feel valued, and it shows people how to diagnose and identify the real problem and solutions. Most importantly, it allows your company to stay ahead of the curve in their respective business, which in today's environment is so important. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. If you're not evolving, you are devolving. Thank you so much. My name is Alex Terego. I designed this program on the principles of Socratic inquiry. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you use it. Thank you so much for listening.